everybody. My name is Alan, and welcome to Crimicide True Stories, the show where we take the best stories from our true scary stories and share them with you guys. Now, last week I didn't have a video. I was moving, and I didn't have time to upload or record. It was very hectic, but I'm getting back into the swing of things, so I'm hoping to get videos to you guys in a timely manner, as usual. Before we get into today's stories, there is a secret in today's video, hinting towards a future documentary video. And I hope you guys can find it. If you do find it, leave it in the comments below. Also, today's final story is one of my own. I figure since I use our true scary stories for content, I may as well contribute some of my own. And with that, let's get into today's stories. This first story is from Reddit user Ash Ketchup. This is happening right now, at the time I'm writing. My grandparents have a cast iron triangle bell on their front porch, and for the past hour, I've been hearing something hitting the bell twice on and off. It's a little windy right now, I'll admit, but it's just so consistent that it's kind of worrying me. I've lived here for 3 years now, and I've never heard that before, or at least have never noticed it. I don't think it's the wind due to the fact that there's nothing near it that it could be hitting, and it got louder, or at least a bit more aggressive, when I closed my window. We have a Ring camera, but my Nana's phone turns off automatically after a certain time, and she doesn't get the motion notification until morning. I'm just worried that there's something out there. I'll keep you updated if any more info comes up. Small update. Now obviously, I'm alive. Nothing too intense happened last night. However, we found a dead bird on our front porch this morning. I don't know if the bird flew into the door, we have a glass window on our front door, plus it was windy and dark out, or if someone put it there. I'm waiting on my Nana to get off work to review the footage from our Ring camera. Update number 2. So it turns out that it was just a kid messing with us. I mean, that's not too bad. But the part that really bothers me is that dead bird. Why the hell would somebody leave that? I'm gonna sleep with my window closed tonight. And just to be sure, we double checked all the doors and windows in the house to make sure we're all clear. Hopefully this will be the final update, but if anything happens, I'll make another post, or just keep updating to this one. So far nothing's happened again. However, someone kept walking across our front yard in the middle of the night and making the dogs bark last night, but so far, nothing else has happened, and I think we're good for now. I think it's just a mentally ill individual, or a creepy kid with a sick sense of humor. Either way, I've got a phone, a pocket knife, and a stick if anything does happen. This next story is from Reddit user Evisceration94. Hey guys, so 2 days ago, my grandmother visited us to celebrate Easter. As we were talking, she started to mention that she thinks she's being watched by her neighbors. I asked her what makes her think that she's being watched, and she said that every time she's in her bedroom trying to sleep, she keeps hearing someone say her name. At first, I thought okay, she's 86 years old, maybe it's just her imagination. But she mentioned that she even can recognize one of the voices as the voice of the neighbor's wife. The voice keeps saying, "Get out of bed," and "Don't sleep too long." I really saw that she was worried. I asked her some more things about these neighbors. After some time talking about rather normal information, she said that one time after she had some kind of stressful situation with the neighbors, that this guy was walking with his fucking gun in the backyard and looking at her. I have to mention here that I live in Germany, and it's not normal here to do this. Also, he's an ex-Bundeswehr officer that was kicked out because he treated his soldiers so badly. I'm really worried about all this, but I really don't know what to do. Everyone thinks she's telling BS, but I believe her because I know this guy and he's a psycho. Because we were kids. He constantly watched me and my cousin. So yeah, I'm pretty busy right now thinking of how to solve all of this. To my knowledge, the situation is still ongoing, and it has not yet been resolved. This next story is from Reddit user 1020yos or 2010yos. Recently, I got back into contact with my cousin, let's call her C, and someone has been creeping around her property. My cousin and her dad live in a rural area with few people, and they are farmers. They also have a family friend who lives near them, who also is a farmer and helps with their cows. A couple weeks ago, a strange car parked in the middle of the road. A tall man got out and was dancing around the fields behind her house and singing. This was at around 3 a.m., and her father was out at the barn with a family friend taking care of their cows. The strange man soon came to their front door and started loudly knocking on it. C had locked all the doors and windows in the house, and he could not get in. She had also locked herself in the room and had just texted her dad. Her dad and the family friend were coming back to the house to investigate when the man went over to C's window and tried to open it. C had noticed this and locked herself in the attic. Once her father and their friend saw the man, he ran back to his car and drove away. On Easter, we saw a strange car park in the middle of the road, and C confirmed it was the same car. We stayed away from it and drove away. Hopefully we can figure the situation out. If anything new happens, I will give an update. If you've enjoyed the episode so far and would like to see more, go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. We upload weekly, and if you would like to see your story on an episode of Crimicide True Stories, go ahead and send them to crimicideyt@gmail.com. Now, on to the final story. This final story is from me. I've been using stories from this subreddit for my YouTube channel, Crimicide, for a while now, and I think it's time I tell one of my own stories. When I was younger, 13 or 14, I used to hang out at my local library a lot. It was the only place I could get online. I made a few friends there over the years. One day, a friend of mine and I decided to walk to GameStop and browse, maybe grab one of their $5 PS3 games. On our way, we saw a truck parked in front of a Big Lots, which normally wouldn't be worth noting, but Big Lots was closed that day, and it was the only vehicle there. Another thing that stood out was the man sitting in it. We looked at him curiously, and we were a little worried since it was a very hot day that day, and the temperature was easily in the 90s. We decided it would be rude to wake someone up who probably was responsible enough to at least have the AC on while he slept, and we moved on. About an hour later, as we're walking back, we see the same truck, only this time it was surrounded by police who were taping things up. I asked one of the officers what happened, and he told me this. Someone called in about a guy that was sitting here for a couple days. Turns out, he died 2 days ago. Heart attack. That actually shook my friend and I a little. It doesn't sound like much, but it was such a weird experience to see someone who looked like they just pulled over for a nap, only to find out we were looking at a man who nobody knew had died. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you really liked my story. I haven't even told my friends that story, actually. So, I definitely hope you enjoyed it. If you found the secret in today's video and know what my documentary video will be about, put it in the comments below and I will pin it to the top. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.